Small business owners know cutting costs without cutting quality is tough. How do you trim expenses without hurting your business? Easy. Get Spectrum Business. Call 888-489-2212. Switch to Spectrum Business and you can get the best internet and phone services for half of what you're paying today. Cutting costs can be easy when you get Spectrum Business. Just call 888-489-2212. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Don't spend more than you have to on your mobile service. Spectrum Mobile could save you up to 40% versus what you're paying now. Click to learn more. Spectrum delivers the fastest overall speeds and has the most reliable mobile service, coast to coast, with no hidden taxes, fees, or contracts. Plus, we let you mix, match, and switch between plans as often as you like, without penalty or fee. And nationwide 5G is included in every plan. Spectrum Mobile.
I want you to know that the mothership has landed.
It's DA on CBS Sports Radio.
What's up, my brother? I want permission to come aboard the mothership.
Asking permission to join a sports talk spaceship? Well, we're all a little crazy. The mothership has connected.
The mothership.
Let's come aboard.
Man, I'm feeling great.
I'm doing great.
Happy Friday to you, boys and girls. One question only. How do you feel?
Well, I feel good and I'm doing well.
That's all that really matters. And we come to you live, as always, from the Rocket Mortgage Studios. When you want the ability to adjust your loan options in real time, Rocket can. We appreciate you being with us on this fine Friday. It is a Target Demo Friday. And so hit us up with where you're at, how you're listening, and what you're up to this weekend on either Facebook, facebook.com/The Show, facebook.com/The Show, or on Twitter, DA on CBS. And let us know. All of that intel, we'll read those coming up here a little bit later on in the hour. Our next guest is the host of the NBA on TNT on Tuesday nights. He also is the host of the Adam Lefkoe Show podcast. So you can check him out there. Bleacher Report's own Adam Lefkoe joining us this morning on the program. Adam, good morning. How we doing?
My guy, how you feeling this morning?
I'm doing great. Ready for the weekend. I'm feeling good. How about you?
I am in a point of transition, DA. My hair is falling out. I can't handle it anymore. I'm moving back from Atlanta to New York. Nothing makes sense. I booked a hotel for tonight, but accidentally I booked it for 2 weeks from now.
Oh.
You know, so I'm coming on your show to center myself. You are my life Sherpa, and I would like for you to guide me to the top of the mountain. But other than that, I'm great.
That sounds awesome. You know, you had a wedding not long ago, and your pictures are incredible. Your wife is beautiful. The setting was beautiful, and you had legit celebrities there. You had Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union at the wedding. Of course, you work with them. You're friends with them, which is amazing. Was it like everybody was like, hey, psh, psh, hey, check it out. Hey, go. Dwayne Wade's over at the Shrimp Cocktail Bar. Or was everybody kind of cool with, like, legit celebrities being there?
So I all I know is that, you know, when you're getting married, you have no idea what's going on because you're just like in a room and they're like, here, we stole you a plate of hors d'oeuvres. And I'm like, okay. And so I looked out and there was like kind of a field behind where we were and I see, you know, Wade chilling and I'm like, okay. And it's outside and I look at my wife's mom because we were just kind of hanging out there and I said, would you like to meet him? And she said, sure. And so we start walking across this field. And I didn't realize that became the official invitation that it was okay to talk to. Because for me, I'm like, okay, this is you know, my coworker. And as soon as we walked over, it was like an ambush. And I was like, crap, I didn't mean to do that. All I know, though, is he was a great sport. He lifted me up on the chair for the hora, which is him and my guy Travis Kelce, which is like the funniest photo of all time. And because neither of them have ever been a part of a hora before. But you know what the best part is, man, is like one of my little cousins. On one side of my family, it is literally almost all boys. It's like 12 boys. And all of my little cousins on one side got a picture with Wade where they're all acting so hard. Like they all got like their arms crossed and all that.
Nice.
And one of my cousins hit me up because that was the only picture he posted. He goes, "Hey, cuz, just want you to know that I wasn't there for clout. I was there for you." I just posted this, and I was like, "Oh, thanks, bro. Like, thanks for letting me know that you didn't just go to my wedding because your family, or that it wasn't just for clout. Thank you. I appreciate it. Kids today, man, they crack me up."
At our wedding a couple of years ago, Bart Scott showed up, a guy that I became friends
awesome.
with by working with him on the show, obviously. So he shows up, and everybody's all about Bart Scott. And you know him. He's been on your podcast before, and you guys have worked together. He's just the best. So he's great. He's taking pictures with everybody. He's shaking hands. And I'm like, this is so cool. He's getting along with my entire family and friends. The speeches begin like the best man and the bridesmaid speeches. The lights come on afterwards. He's gone. He ghosted. The speeches bored Bart Scott so badly.
No,
Bart
Wade disappeared
left
too.
the wedding.
So this is what's very funny is, and I completely understand it. He actually Wade sent me a video and I didn't see it till the next day. But he was like, "Hey man," but he left in the middle. And the funniest part about that was my wife's brother was being cool the entire time. Like, he's like, "Oh, I'll get a picture with Wade later. I'm family."
Yep.
Like, he even came up to me and was like, "Can you introduce me later?" I was like, "No." I was like, "This is my wedding. Like, this is not, like, you're not the focal point here." But he is still fuming that everybody got pictures with him except for my wife's brother because he thought that he was going to be there the whole time, and he left in the middle. And I'm like, he was being ambushed. He has a right to leave, you know? So funny.
That's awesome. Adam Lefkoe joins us this morning on the show. So you've been based in Atlanta for the last couple of months, obviously doing TNT stuff. So you've been around Hawks fans. And Hawks fans are not naturally inclined to believe in the Hawks. They're not naturally inclined to believe in any of their sports team in Atlanta. So what is it like for Hawks fans to wake up and realize, oh, my God, we have a 1-0 series lead in the conference finals today?
As a Sixers fan, the last 2 weeks had been very weird because everywhere I would go, people would look at me and be like, "You're going to watch the Hawks game tonight?" And I was like, first of all, it's the Sixers game. It's not the Hawks game, okay? And so I'm like the only Sixers fan seemingly down here. When it went 2-1 Sixers, and they had that chance to go 3-1, and the Hawks won, and then they came back the next game. And when the Hawks had that huge 25-point comeback, the city changed. That's when it went from, we're happy to be here, to, oh, man, maybe we're the team of destiny. And it's fully changed. Like, I feel like the litmus test for where Hawks fans, they're always going to love Trae. I think the biggest thing for Trae Young was that this playoff run has gone from, he was the other star drafted with Luka, I can't believe they traded, to, wait a second, he is the guy. And I feel like he's officially won this city over because I even though they won't admit it, in the back of everyone's head, they're like, man, we probably should have gone Luka. And now they don't. I'm not saying he's better than Luka. I'm not saying he'll have the same career, but it is now fulfilled their qualms. They are now calm, cool, and collected. I would also say the litmus test, though, is Kevin Huerter. For much of that series, this city was done with Huerter. He had like a 20-point game early on, and then he faded away, and they were picking on him, the Sixers were. For him to end that last series the way he did and drop in 27, Kevin Huerter is now a god in Atlanta. Like this red velvet is a god here in Atlanta. And I think for Trae Young to drop 48 in the first game against a Bucks team that, look, this is Budenholzer. I mean, this is a guy that was in Atlanta. And so I think there's a little bit of confidence there, too, from the Atlanta Hawks fans where they're like, oh, we know this coach. Like, he has a propensity to lose these types of series. I think that Atlanta right now feels like they're playing with house money. And to take game one, which is something Trae does because it seems, whether it was the Knicks, the Sixers, or now the Bucks, until you face Trae Young, that first game, you have no idea what you're getting into. And so it'll be interesting to see how they match up, but Atlanta's going nuts right now.
Adam Lefkoe of the Lefkoe Show podcast joins us this morning here on the program. So being a Sixers fan, what's your vibe on how to fix Ben Simmons or fix the Sixers, or do you have to trade Ben Simmons? What's the offseason?
The fact that Rich Paul has already met with Daryl Morey lets you know, and both sides have come out, and Rich Paul says he still wants to be one of the faces of the franchise, and Daryl Morey says nothing to see here. Almost every front office person right now is in Chicago for the pre-draft workouts. And I would be willing to bet large amounts of money that Morey is spending a lot of conversations right now testing the waters. When stories come out that a lot of teams are interested, you never know if that's coming from the Sixers. You never know if that's actually coming from teams. But I would say it's likely coming from the Sixers. Personally, I do not know how you continue to go on with Ben Simmons as one of the, quote, faces of your franchise. In games 5, 6, and 7, he scored 19 points combined. Not per game, combined. And I think that what you saw at the end of the game, with Embiid showing visible frustration at the fact that he didn't dunk that ball, what you saw after the game with Embiid calling out that moment, and Doc Rivers in a moment of true honesty saying, I don't know if he's the guy, that was the truth. And so I don't know as an organization how you say, I think it's going to get better. It's troubling as a Sixers fan that the last 2 first picks in the draft that we've had both have had mental blockages that seemingly, whether it's caused from stress or whatever, has seemingly derailed their careers for points in time, Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz. That's very troubling. But I would say I don't know how you don't move him, especially when you saw the spark that Maxey provided. Because that's like your first-round pick from last year that you're like, man, that's a point guard that maybe we could build on. So a lot of Sixers fans that talk to me, the logical place that they look right away is the Blazers, because if you mix Damian Lillard with Ben Simmons, suddenly you fix the Blazers' defense, which is one of the worst teams in the NBA last year. You never have to worry about Ben shooting anyway because he's setting screens for Dame Lillard. And maybe you get like a C.J. McCollum back, who Sixers fans love because went to Lehigh, outside Philadelphia. He's one of those shooters. He can stretch it with Embiid. That's what I think Sixers fans have their fingers crossed for. I just don't know how you keep going with Ben at this point.
So last night, Game 3 goes to the Clippers, even though Chris Paul comes back and there's no Kawhi Leonard. Now, if there's no Kawhi Leonard last night, maybe there's no Kawhi Leonard for the rest of the series, maybe the rest of the postseason. So it means it's Paul George. And George had a couple of great shots to give them the lead in Game 2, but then, of course, missed the free throws. Last night he was very good again, very efficient. Where do you stand on Paul George and the criticism that he takes regularly, or the good play that he has shown when Kawhi's gone down?
Yeah, Paul George had maybe his best shooting season of his career this year, in terms of practically a 50, 40, 90 guy for most of the season. And I think I love the adjustments that Lou made last night. He started Terrence Mann instead of Morris, even though Morris played great off the bench. He took out Rondo and played a lot more Pat Beverly, who was really enjoying covering Devin Booker, and Zubac played a great game. But in terms of just Paul George, Paul George to me is like the NBA player embodiment of what the Bengals were in the 2000s. It's kind of what the Raptors were in the 2010s, where until he does it, he's never going to hear the end of it, because we've seen this story a lot. I go back, though, to the injury that he suffered with USA Basketball, and the fact that who he was before that with the Pacers is a different player than who he is now with a completely restructured knee. I am someone that would not bet on Paul George, but I am someone that is rooting for Paul George because I think we forget the obstacles that he's overcome. In terms of, can this Clippers team win it all? That, to me, it's crazy that right now the Final Four teams, a Clippers team without Kawhi, is still in a position to win it all, which kind of shows you, to be candid, the weakness of these 4 teams. The Suns need Cameron Payne to be healthy, because what I saw in Game 3 was Suns guards that were unable to get by Pat Beverly and the guards, get into the lane, and then activate DeAndre Ayton. I saw a lot of slow basketball, which is what you get with Chris Paul. And so I do think it's interesting that the first 2 games, Cameron Payne was able to kind of keep that Clippers defense on their heels. But the 4 teams, DA, are weak. Like, in terms of, like, Final Fours we've seen in the past.
Adam Lefkoe joins us. Check out the Adam Lefkoe Show podcast. You watch him on TNT for the NBA on Tuesday nights. Before I let you go, your buddy Chris Sims, who you've done a lot of work with over the years.
What did he do now? What did he do now?
He releases his top 40 quarterbacks in the NFL. And in the top 40, he does not include an Eagles QB. There is no Jalen Hurts on this list. There is a Kellen Mond. There is a Case Keenum. There is a Tyrod Taylor. There is a Drew Lock. There is no Jalen Hurts. How do you feel about Sims doing this to you?
You're getting an exclusive, because I've gotten a lot of texts and tweets and IG DMs about, can you believe this? And as somebody who has defended Chris Sims for years, because I know what he's trying to accomplish. He's trying to say that if you took these quarterbacks and put them all behind the same offensive line with the same weapons and the same coach, how would they do? It's the reason he has Tom Brady at 9, because, let's be honest, Tom Brady might have the best wide receiver core, he might have a top 5 O-line, and he has Bruce Arians. So I understand what he's doing. But of all the guys you said, to have Jalen Hurts behind Drew Lock is one of the most insulting things that I have ever heard. To have him behind guys, look, I know you love Kellen Mond, Sims, but the guy hasn't taken a snap. Are you that down on Jalen Hurts' ability to play the position that you have him off the board? Off the board! For me, I love this, because not only am I a believer in Jalen Hurts, I am an investor in Jalen Hurts, whether it's cards, stuff like that. I have faith in this guy. It is the story of Jalen Hurts' career. And we might play this back and go, Lefkoe, you're an idiot. But this guy has been counted out so many times. I don't think anybody works harder than him, and I believe that he has it. Do I believe that he has a perfect throwing motion? No. Do I believe that he has the strongest arm in the NFL? No. But he has that quality physically, mentally, emotionally. He has the ability to run. He throws a beautiful deep ball. He has good zip on intermediate throws. And I also think that he has something that the Eagles haven't had at the quarterback position in a while, a true leader. I can't say that about anybody else that you mentioned, Drew Lock, Kellen Mond. It's crazy. So I would say, Sims, keep doing what you're doing. But you're dead wrong, and I will fight you. And if you want to go, you name the place, you name the time, me and Jalen Hurts versus you and Drew Lock. How about that? I'll give you the tall guy, too. And we'll take you on. We can parking lot it up, and I'm going to hit you with a right cross and a left hook. And then we'll see how your rankings hold up.
That's amazing. Also amazing, in 2022, you're getting your Kelly Green beautiful throwback Eagle uniforms back, maybe with Jalen Hurts in them, which would look slick.
It's, the NFL is slow to do things. They really are. And I guess it took a pandemic for them to realize, hey, you can bring back the coolest jerseys, and they're going to sell really well. Yep. And it's not even just the jerseys, because the coolest thing about the Kelly Green uniform is not the jerseys. It's the helmet. And that has always been the issue. There's a lot of other jerseys out there that are cool, but it's the Kelly Green helmet with the silver wing that you see it and you immediately think of Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Eric Allen, Randall Cunningham, Seth Joyner. It takes you back to a time of nostalgia, of Tecmo Bowl. And to me, props to the NFL for finally doing it. At the same time, what took you so long? What are you doing?
No kidding. Oh, those Kelly Greens are absolutely spectacular. I can't wait to see them on the field in 2022. Adam Lefkoe joining us this morning on the show. Check out the Lefkoe Show podcast, won't you? Available all places podcasts are downloaded, and courtesy of the Bleacher Report. Excellent stuff. Lefkoe, it's always awesome to catch up, my man. Try to keep that hair on the head. You got good stuff.
Love you. Yeah, it's still there. It's just getting grayer by the day, so I appreciate your prayers.
Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you, man.
Adam Lefkoe joining us this morning on the show. Excellent stuff. When we come back on the program, The Pac-12 embarrassing itself on the college football front. DA, CBS Sports Radio.
Little wet, little drippy, 24/7. DA on CBS Sports Radio.
It's a Target Demo Friday, so let us know where you're at, how you're listening, and what you're up to this weekend. And I'll read through those coming up here in about 10 minutes from now. It's a Target Demo Friday, so hit me up on Twitter, DA on CBS, or on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The DA Show. Here's a good suggestion from one of our listeners. As Mraz is going to be watching tonight's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Eastern Conference Finals at Bob's Bar, but not allowing any Islanders fans in there because he hates the Islanders, and him and Bob are rooting for the Lightning tonight, and they don't want these rowdy Islanders fans to be in the building at Bob's Bar, but these guys are going to be 3 houses down at a watch party at Mraz's sister's place, which is where he is staying right now because of the renovations. Hawaiian Tony Danza tweets, if the Islanders win tonight, can that drunk group of Isles fans 3 doors down from Bob's Bar with pitchforks blare music by the band 3 doors down instead of Queen having a good time? Hashtag unpipe it. Hashtag go to water. Unpipe it. I think that's a good idea. Didn't they sing Superman? I think somebody should be blaring 3 doors down the moment that one of these teams win. If the Lightning win, you blare it. If the Islanders win, they blare it.
Well, I know I can control playing it and having a blast playing it. I can't control what these idiots play. They have their superstitions. They have their Spotify playlists. I don't know what's going on over there. They have a timer when the period ends to get the exact 17 minutes to turn it off, put on the music, and put the game back on. They have a whole operation going there.
Actually, it's not Superman. It's Kryptonite. Their song was Kryptonite.
But Superman's mentioned in it. You were close enough, DA.
Yeah, I was close. Oh, that's a good suggestion. So with the new proposal of the college football playoff, it would be 12 teams, okay? And the way this would work would be you'd get 6 conference champions. Now, on the surface, you'd be like, oh, that makes sense. You'd have the 5 power conferences, the Big Ten, the ACC, the SEC, the Big 12, and the Pac-12. And then you'd have a conference champion from probably the American or the Mountain West, the other 2 kind of pseudo-power conferences with teams like UCF or Memphis or Cincinnati or Boise State or San Diego State, and, you know, that next group of teams. But that's not necessarily how it's going to be. Yes, it'll be 6 conference winners and then 6 at-large bids if this goes through. But it can be any 6 conference winners. So it doesn't have to be necessarily just the 5 power conference winners and then the 1 American or the 1 group of 5 or the 1 Mountain West. It can be, hypothetically, a Sun Belt winner and a Mountain West winner and an American winner. It can hypothetically be a MAC winner and a Sun Belt winner and, you know, an American winner and a Mountain West winner. So they don't have to take just the 5 power conference champions from their conferences and then 1 conference champion from a group of 5. Now, you might say, well, who cares? What are the odds we're ever going to see a Sun Belt winner and a Mountain West winner and a MAC winner? We're not. The fact is we're not going to see those teams get picked over an SEC winner, over a Pac-12 winner, over a Big 12 winner. We're not going to see that. But it doesn't stop outgoing Pac-12 Commissioner Larry Scott from worrying about this. Larry Scott, who is by and large considered the worst commissioner out of all of the power conferences, is being pushed out the door because he sucked so bad, because he oversaw a Pac-12 networks that can't get clearance in any cable package and is basically all digital. and a conference that has lost so much prestige over the years in college football. He is now saying, I don't like this new plan. That instead of 6 conference winners and the powers that be can pick any conferences, it should be, we're one of the 5 automatic bids. That the power conferences should be automatic in there. 5 automatics. And then you just take one other conference champion and then all of the wild cards you want, all of the at-larges you want. Which is so humiliating. It is so humiliating that the Pac-12 and an outgoing disgraced commissioner is saying, yeah, but we don't want the Mountain West and the American to get a bid over us. We don't want the Sun Belt and the MAC to potentially steal our spots. 2 at-large bids, or I should say 2 group of 5 conference winners would have to be automatically invited over the Pac-12 winner. And Larry Scott not only is worried about that his conference champion might be considered worse than a Mountain West and an American, but also he's worried that the other 6 bids might leave him out. That the Pac-12 commissioner is so worried about the expansion that even 12 bids might not include a Pac-12 team. And this is officially the biggest disgrace of his commissionership. You don't think you'll be considered one of the 12 best programs that include other conference champions, including group of 5s with an S? You're that scared that your football product's that bad that you wouldn't be one of the 12 picked and would be bypassed for 2 group of 5s? Get Larry Scott out. Get them all out. That is disgraceful. That is humiliating. That is embarrassing. I mean, dude, if you are worried that you won't be one of the 12 best schools for a college football playoff and will be bypassed by 2 group of 5 conference champions, it's your problem. It's not the way the format's up. It's not the way this thing is being pitched. It's a you problem. That is not an anybody else problem except a you problem. That is just ridiculous.
Don't spend more than you have to on your mobile service. Spectrum Mobile could save you up to 40% versus what you're paying now. Click to learn more. Spectrum delivers the fastest overall speeds and has the most reliable mobile service, coast to coast, with no hidden taxes, fees, or contracts. Plus, we let you mix, match, and switch between plans as often as you like, without penalty or fee. And nationwide 5G is included in every plan. Spectrum Mobile.
Small business owners know cutting costs without cutting quality is tough. How do you trim expenses without hurting your business? Easy. Get Spectrum Business. Call 888-489-2212. Switch to Spectrum Business and you can get the best internet and phone services for half of what you're paying today. Cutting costs can be easy when you get Spectrum Business. Just call 888-489-2212. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
We're staying home more than ever before, so having reliable internet is important. It's keeping us connected to work and school, friends and family. And based on the latest FCC broadband report, Spectrum Internet is delivering more speed more consistently. With 200 megabits per second and no data caps, no speed throttling, and no contracts ever, you can stream, game, and connect to what matters most. Spectrum Internet, only $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/radio.
Standing by, headlines. Andrew Bogish. Mr. Bogues, what do we got?
DA, we've got Chris Paul, the bout of COVID, the latest issue to keep him off the floor during the postseason, but CP3 philosophical after returning to the Suns lineup last night.
Things could be a lot worse. Like I said, I'm here now. Got an unbelievable team as in Phoenix, and I got the best support system you could absolutely have. So Ain't nobody over here feeling sorry.
Paul Rusty in Game 3 of the Western Conference Final last night, 5 of 19 shooting, 15 points plus 12 assists. Devin Booker, 5 of 21 for 15 points as well. The Suns needed a hoop as the Clippers pulled away in the third but never got one. LA won the quarter 34-21, won the game 106-92. So the series now 2-1 Phoenix. Reggie Jackson now on the Clippers, bouncing back in another Game 3.
This team's just hungry. It's always hungry to get better. You know, you don't know what the results are ever going to be, but I love our approach. I love the way that we come out. We continue to fight. We continue to try to find ways to get it done collectively, and we've been fortunate enough to make it this far.
Maybe avoiding an 0-2 hole in the future would help. Jackson scored 23 last night, while Paul George put up 27, 15 boards, 8 assists over 43 minutes. Maybe they get even in Game 4 tomorrow night. Maybe the Bucks get even in Game 2 with the Hawks tonight. And maybe Pete's Islanders join the Canadiens in the Stanley Cup Final tonight. Game 7 in Tampa, 8 Eastern, not at Bob's Bar. Montreal finished off Vegas 3-2 in OT. In Game 6 last night, Arturi Lehkonen scored the winner just 99 seconds into extra time. Pete DeBoer's Head's team brought a cold-cut platter to a steak dinner.
When you get to this point, the teams that win find another level. They don't sag. So, we didn't find another level, and they did.
And you might know this, the Habs are the first Canadian team to play for the Cup in 276 years. Baseball's latest no-hitter courtesy of Zach Davies, Ryan Tepera, Andrew Chafin, and Craig Kimbrell. The 4 Cubbies walked 8, but allowed 0 hits in a 4-0 win at Dodger Stadium. It is the 7th no-hitter of this season, matching the most since 1900. The Astros beat the Tigers 12-3 for an 11-game win streak. The Orioles losing to the Jays in Buffalo 9-0 for a 20-game road losing streak. From the WNBA, the Sky dumped the Liberty 91-68 for a franchise record 7-game win streak. And checking on round 2 of the Travelers Championship, Phil Mickelson is even through 7 holes this morning, still -1 overall. The lead is 7 under. Kramer Hickok has that, a 63 from him yesterday. He tees off at 2 Eastern this afternoon. DA, back to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Bogues. Great work this week. When we come back on the show, it's a Target Demo Friday. DA, CBS Sports Radio.
It's a Friday fiesta. Here's what our listeners in the Target Demo are up to.
And on this Friday fiesta, do a shot of JMO, lean back in the chair and enjoy this Friday Target Demo Friday and get ready for your weekend.
Oink, oink.
We begin
Oink, oink.
From Twitter. Brian says, I'm listening on the SiriusXM app in North Carolina. Going to go to the movies and watch the Fast and Furious boys. Hashtag unpipe it.
Unpipe it.
Delbert tweets, what up, DA? I used to listen to you guys on 1270. Now I'm listening to you guys on my phone. Target Demo Friday.
It just doesn't happen.
He's in Detroit, and that's all good because no matter where you are, you can listen to us on your phone. Stream us using the CBS Sports app. Stream us using the radio.com, now Odyssey app. Stream us. Go to our website. Just simply go to cbssportsradio.com or on SiriusXM 206. Or you can also listen to us from your smart speakers. There's plenty of ways you can still listen to us. TR Torrey tweets, I'm listening in Detroit. I'm at the crib chilling this morning. Me and my daughter going to the Astros-Tigers game tonight. I took her to her first game a couple of weeks ago. Target Demo Friday.
Yankee Doodle, stop it.
Yankee Doodle. Kyle tweets, beam me up, DA. I'm listening on the Odyssey app in Lake Havasu City. Kudos to the Canadians and thank you for a great season, Vegas. Shout out to the youngest D-Alien, Captain Jax Little. What up? Congratulations, guys. And happy Target Demo Friday.
Nick Holden made the Canadians as floppy as their bacon.
Now, Kyle was the listener, the D-Alien, who once upon a time trashed his pregnant girlfriend for being, quote, as big as a house. That got him some real hot water. Not cold water, hot water. And Kyle, I think, has been nicer to his girlfriend who now has had the baby. Now that we see the youngest alien, Captain Jax, which is very cool. Greasy tweets, I'm in Nash Vegas, listening on the Odyssey app. I'll be watching the Lowe's delivery guys unload a setup and a new refrigerator and watching Vandy kick everybody's ass in the College World Series. Hashtag Target Demo Friday.
I'm not kidding. Somebody get cold water.
I'm not kidding. Rob is listening to CBS Sports Radio on 96.3 in Erie, Pennsylvania, as I help build the world's best locomotives. The glory is in the grind, DA. Oh, you're absolutely right about that, Rob. Looking forward to a weekend of hanging with my grandson and listening to my wife complain that basketball is still going on. Beam me up, DA. Mac and Bear is tweeting, good morning, guys. Listening on Sirius XM on the road in upstate New York. Chilling this weekend with cigars, beers, and hoops. Go Isles. Have a great weekend. Happy holidays. And ho, ho, ho. Hold snapper.
Ho, ho, ho. Sports Giants.
Hold snapper and third-string quarterback.
David tweets, yo, DA, I am not rooting for the Canadians. Montreal thinks it's not really Canada. 87% of Quebecers do not identify as Canadian. They want Canadian Parliament to declare Quebec its own nation. No to cheering up here for Montreal. And yes, I would cheer for any other Canadian team. Hashtag Target Demo Friday.
What?
Jeffrey says, yo, DA, I'm also tall at 6'2" and listening to the show in Philly via the Odyssey app. As for the weekend, I'm going to go to the multiplex to see a movie for the first time in forever. Beam me up. So there you go. Jeffrey, who's 6'2", could be Tall Jeff, the new superhero. Upside Down Mike, what up, boys? Listening at home on Sirius XM, I'll be watching the Islanders game tonight. I didn't really get any sleep last night. I'm so bleeping nervous and anxious about this game. Play Isles brand of hockey, hit them off the puck, and put pucks on net. Let's go Isles. Hashtag unpipe it.
Unpipe it.
Joshua says, happy Friday. I downloaded the Odyssey app because 1270 replaced the show, but that's okay. I prefer my sports talk to be overweight people with poor vocabulary. Their show has a beautiful blonde woman on it. Hashtag unpipe it. Hashtag disciplines.
Unpipe it.
Disciplines.
Dave is in Mechanicsburg, listening on the Odyssey app, packing up the family van for the weekend trip to Wildwood, New Jersey. Hashtag unpipe it. Hashtag there's probably going to be cold water.
Unpipe it. Get cold water.
Alan is a guy who lives in the 321 and says it was hysterical to hear you guys give Rob in the 321 the equivalent of a 2-minute instigator penalty, and then Mraz tack on an extra 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. Nice job. Great laugh to start off a Friday. Hashtag Twitter Budinsky. Hashtag take a play off.
Off the top of the indoor batting cage and right.
Joe is on Facebook, listening in Indianapolis on WXNT 1430. Plenty to watch some baseball and racing this weekend. Hashtag beam me up. John on Facebook is listening to the CBS Sports app with my coworker Erico while at work. Hashtag cold water.
Get cold water.
Rob is listening on Sirius XM 206, getting home from a week of trucking, plan on chilling, grilling, and fishing. Born and bred Leafs fan, never going to cheer for the Habs. When they played the Russians in the 70s, we cheered for the Reds. Hashtag cold water. Hashtag ho, ho, ho.
I'm not kidding. Somebody get cold water.
Ho, ho, ho. Sports Giants.
You know you hate the Montreal Canadiens when you'd rather root for the Russians in the 70s, the height of the Cold War. Peter's in Cape Coral, Florida, listening to Sirius XM 206, planning a lot of fishing this weekend. Hashtag Target Demo Friday.
Caw-caw. Caw-caw.
Todd is in St. John, Canada, XM 206, watching NASCAR and the Camping World SRX Series on CBS. Target Demo Friday.
Hey.
And finally, James is listening in Chicago on Odyssey. Can't wait to see the Islanders roll the Lightning. Also, I knew Bogues was a clown, but hearing that he's never eaten at a Waffle House just drove it home. Hashtag Target Demo Friday.
Does it make a noise? Hey.
Caw-caw.
Wow.
Caw-caw.
Oink, oink.
Doesn't make a
Oink,
noise.
Disciplines.
What are discyclines?
Just so you know, this weekend, as you go into the weekend, as I've done, I turned on the shower last night, and it was colder than I would have thought. And I was like, cold water.
Get cold water.
And then I had to change the filter on the water tank. And I ran the water to get it hot, and I'm like, thinking to myself, yeah, right now I've got to fix the hot water.
Unpipe it. Unpipe it. Get cold water.
And I swear this happened. A couple days ago, I go over to my parents' house, and there's a leak in the boiler. And so my dad's like all frantic. He's got to call the boiler people. They got to come over and check it out. And the two boiler people come over to the house, and they say hot water pipe or cold water pipe like 6 or 7 times and trying to fix this thing. And every time I start chuckling because I'm like, cold water.
I'm not kidding. Somebody get cold water. Get cold water.
Hot water. Cold water pipe.
Get cold water.
Hot water, cold water pipe.
Unpipe it.
Unpipe it all.
Get cold water.
I mean, these guys saying cold water or hot water and pipe in the same sentence, and I couldn't stop laughing like a 6-year-old. Unpipe it. Unpipe it all.
Unpipe it. Unpipe it.
I oughta whoop, 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 whoop. Unpipe it. Unpipe it. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Unpipe it.
Cold water.
Get cold water. I'm not kidding. Somebody get cold water.
Did you ever think, Mraz, when you had hot clam chowder dumped on your head, that your reaction would become a staple of DA show lore?
No, and honestly, this is one of those staples I wish would just go away and people would stop saying it. Stop saying unpipe it. That's not what he said. Stop saying cold water.
I've had people tell me, I really don't think Mraz said unpipe it. And I said, okay, well, tell me what he said. And they said, I can't tell. I don't know. But it's not unpipe it. I'm like, well, that's not a good enough answer because it certainly sounds like unpipe it to me.
Isn't the good enough answer what I said and what I told you I said?
What you said, it's piping. You didn't say it's piping.
I said, oh, it's piping. And it sounds like unpipe it. You got to realize my nerve endings were getting damaged as the heat hit my neck.
All right.
Oh, he's trying to burn my ear, you mother. Unpipe it.
That is not its piping. There is no way that's its piping. No way.
The one thing that is definitely not in there is it's. There is no S before the pipe. That's just not there. The ending you want to debate, that's fine, but there's no it's piping. I mean, that is not what you said at all.
Nope. For years we're going to be debating this when I told you what I said because I'm the one that said it, not you guys. But disciplines.
Did the Tyree catch hit the ground? Was the tuck rule ruled correctly? And did Mraz say it's piping? Those are the biggest mysteries of the last 20 years in sports.
Unpipe it.
So what's the fail?
The fail is a threatening of a hostile takeover at Bob's Bar tonight.
Oh, my God, this is great. Upside Down Mike, here it is.
Even the DA show is not perfect. We know. Shocking. Here's the epic fail.
Will you end up getting loaded, or do you want to make sure that you watch this with your complete senses?
Absolutely loaded.
Got it.
There is no question. There is no question about it. I had 26 beers last game on Wednesday. Tonight, there's no work tomorrow. It's a Saturday. I'm getting absolutely loaded.
That's gross.
There is no reason. I have a little bone to pick with you, Sean. What was the first thing that you said to me on Monday when we were sitting in the basement? What do you think? 4-1 Lightning? You're done it with 3 goals? A hat trick? You just want to poke. You just want to make fun. You just want to sit there. It is your saltiness because your team is in disarray.
Got a lot of under-the-bar fist pumps when the Lightning scored tonight.
You're terrible. You're trash. And then for you to say, oh, we're going to hate watch? How dare you? How dare you? That is so low of you, Sean. So low of you.
Now, if you guys win tonight, will you be marauding down the street and taking over Bob's Bar and taking shots and just causing complete chaos there?
Oh, absolutely. There will be no peaceful transfer of power at that bar.
We are bad human beings. There's no doubt about it.
There will be a mob, and it will be a hostile takeover. There is no doubt about that. The things that Sean has said to us and poked at us, and we just had to sit there and take it watch you guys. I've sat there and watched Yankee playoff games with you. I'm a Mets fan. Yeah, my pride is hurt. I've sat there and watched games with you, football games with you.
So Vincent LeCavalier is invited to Bob's Bar tonight, but Mike Bossy is not.
My pride's hurt. Basketball I don't really care about, but hockey, we're better than you right now, Sean.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's beyond petty.
Epic fail, you loser.
That is why you fail.
Epic fail.
It's a Friday. I should be enjoying my weekend, and all I can think about is this show on Monday morning because we have tonight's Game 7 with the Islanders and Lightning. We've got a Game 3 on Sunday, a Game 2 and 3 in the Eastern Conference Finals of the NBA. We've got a Game 4 in the Western Conference Finals, so Monday's going to be awesome. Steve is in Baltimore listening on the Odyssey app. Andy is also working on the island, but putting in the Bay this morning, listening on Sirius 206, and going to be spending the day at Cedar Point this weekend. Ed is listening on Sirius XM in Pennsylvania, and Philip is listening on Sirius XM in Indianapolis. So thanks, everybody, for listening on a Target Demo Friday. That is awesome, and I appreciate all the feedback. And what a fun week this was. Thanks to Sean Mraz, executive producer. Thanks to Pete the Body Bellotti on the Wheels of Steel and audio director. Thanks to Andrew Kaplan, the Wizard of Watch DA. And thanks to Andrew Bogish on your headlines. Be good to one another, and we will see you on Monday morning. I'm DA, and the mothership disconnects.
Small business owners know cutting costs without cutting quality is tough. How do you trim expenses without hurting your business? Easy. Get Spectrum Business. Call 888-489-2212. Switch to Spectrum Business and you can get the best internet and phone services for half of what you're paying today. Cutting costs can be easy when you get Spectrum Business. Just call 888-489-2212. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Don't spend more than you have to on your mobile service. Spectrum Mobile could save you up to 40% versus what you're paying now. Click to learn more. Spectrum delivers the fastest overall speeds and has the most reliable mobile service, coast to coast, with no hidden taxes, fees, or contracts. Plus, we let you mix, match, and switch between plans as often as you like, without penalty or fee. And nationwide 5G is included in every plan. Spectrum Mobile.